G'day everybody, Patrol Gaming, and welcome back to, well, not quite a reaction video, but something a little bit different. So recently I reached out to Austin Brown Management at Austin Brown Music. You can check that out in the description. And I asked for an interview. And lo and behold, he said yes. So once I kind of stopped freaking out for a little while, we actually sat down and we had an interview. And this is it here. Hopefully you enjoy it. Austin Brown, thank you very much for joining us today on the channel. We want to get you on just to get to know you a little bit better. We do obviously see reaction videos that I do for Home Free and obviously your solo music as well. But I thought introduce you to my my channel on a more personal level. So very, very glad that you're here.
Oh man, thank you so much.
Nice, nice. So, obviously, Home Free, getting back out there now. So, new album coming out, must be very exciting.
Oh yeah, it feels like the world's starting to turn again, man. It feels like maybe it really was all a bad dream, and we're gonna wake back up to the old normal. You know, everybody keeps talking about this new normal. Well, maybe it'll feel like the old normal. I hope so.
I hope so.
You know, I saw that at Wrigley Field yesterday. You know, Bill Murray did the announcements because it was at 100% capacity in Chicago.
Oh wow, okay.
So if they're going at 100% capacity in Chicago, it seems to me like the rest of the country is probably going to do the same thing.
Oh wow.
And hopefully the whole world, for that matter. So
yeah,
fingers crossed. Let's go back to normal.
It's been a long time coming. What is that? 14 months, I think it is.
Man, I lost count. It's who even knows? It feels like one long month because you know Home Free's been on the road for 200 plus days, 250 days a year for the better part of a decade. You know, I haven't been home for more than 2 weeks at once in over 15 years because I was traveling and touring before Home Free. So when we were in Europe and we got sent home from Europe halfway through that tour in March of last year, like it feels like I blinked and now here we are. Something that I thought would be very difficult to handle, being stuck at home for months and months and months, turned out to be like one of the most awesome and like just soul reviving times of my life. And I know all of Home Free really feels the same way. We've all been like, man, we didn't know how much we like being at home, but turns out we like our family and our dogs. You know?
I must say this quarantine has probably been the most creative time that I've ever seen, you know, music and videos, especially on social media. You know, I don't know who started it, home concerts, but I'm so glad, you know. We've had concerts from everybody. You know, Cliff Richard's been in it. You know, he's been doing concerts, and everybody you haven't seen for a while has actually been putting something out creative. So, and obviously all of Home Free has been fantastic during the quarantine. Some of the best videos I've ever seen. So, the creativity that you've come up with, it's just been fantastic. Just been fantastic. So, how do you go about proposing a song when you're in quarantine and saying, how is this going to work? How are we going to make this work? So,
man, you know, well, that was Home Free. You know, the bulk of our like livelihood is built on live touring. You know, we do YouTube channels. We have our YouTube channel really as a means to advertise and reach a new audience. But because we do other people's music predominantly on YouTube, you know, of our 120 music videos or however many it is now, you know, there's probably only, I don't know, maybe there's like 15 to 20 original songs in there if I hazarded a guess. And so we don't really make much revenue from our YouTube, you know, and we don't really do sponsorships and things like that because we just haven't been interested in like watering down what we do since it's just music videos. If we had another platform, you know, and with some of our home away from homes and things, we're trying to get into that. Maybe we would do some more sponsorships and things like that, but we don't do much of that because we just do the music videos because we made a good living on the road. So the moment that we suddenly couldn't tour, we went from having the best tour of our entire life in Europe. We were halfway through it. We'd sold everything out. We'd been to Europe 4 times. This was the first time we actually turned a profit. The first 2 times we lost money. The third time we broke even. The fourth time we were halfway through it. We'd sold everything out in big houses. And it was like, okay, great. We are actually, this investment's finally coming to do something. And then all of a sudden, we broke even again because we had to just stop right in the middle. So you pay all the promoters what everybody got all their money back, and we just broke even. We didn't lose money, so we were just happy to be home. But needless to say, we had to really figure out a new way to try and make up for all the lost income from our live shows. So unfortunately, we have an incredible management company, Works Entertainment, and we have really great business managers who had helped us prepare for a scenario just as this. I mean, nobody ever thought it would look like that, but they helped us prepare to be able to always, basically pay our salary for a year at least, if things stopped. So that's kind of where we were. And we were going, okay, how long is this going to last? Can we make everything last through it? What can we do? Well, we're stuck at home. Let's start shooting our own music videos on our iPhones. So we each bought a little DJ Mimo gimbal. And you'll have to forgive me for my dogs in the background who are, for some reason, super hype right now.
That's right.
But Titus and Coda back there. But so anyways, we decided, let's do as much music as we can while we're stuck at home. Everybody ordered a Slate microphone to their house, and I recorded with Steven and my buddy Sebastian for a while. I still recorded them for my home free stuff, but pretty much everybody else records remotely with our producer, Darren Rust, who is a brilliant musical mastermind in Minnesota. So I take that back. Rob still goes into the studio, but Adam records himself at home, and then Tim and Chance both record in their closet with Darren over just like this, exactly like this right now. It's really incredible what technology and super fast internet can do. So between those things, we just started doing it. We paid our main video editor to just help us come up with concepts and teach us how to film ourselves better. And something that was very stressful at first has turned out to be very fun. And we've really grown as artists and as digital content creators in the modern age. It's been a wild ride, but something that definitely seemed kind of overwhelming at first. We have to record ourselves in every way all the time. It really showed us how to value what it's like to have an actual music video crew.
So I mean, some of the videos you come up with have been so creative, and it looked like it's professionally done. iPhone has come a long way in their cameras and everything else. So, and it's amazing to think that to be able to just grab as you said, a gimbal and a phone and a microphone, and you'd be able to produce that kind of music. So do you see Home Free doing more of that in the future, as well as the touring as well?
Absolutely, man. We have our first 3 shows in just about a month now in July. Back to back to back. And they're really happening. We have 50 or so shows booked through the end of the year. We have a big tour August, November, October, November, December. A whole Christmas tour. And I think a regular tour at the beginning of that as well. It's happening. So that will certainly continue. Looks like but with that said, we have filmed 9 music videos in 9 days very recently.
Wow. Okay.
Whenever Home Free all came together to actually make real quote unquote music videos again. And I think the first of those just came out yesterday. It's called Land of the Free. It's a song that Tim wrote. And it is a song that I have wanted to do with Home Free since the first time I heard it 8-9 years ago, whenever I first met Tim and we were sharing music with each other. And I just really love that song. We finally did film a bunch of music videos for that. And we're doing 8 more music videos next week. So, you know what? We're just going to keep this interview super casual, too. So, I'm just going to let my dog out, who is just going crazy right now. So, back it up, Coda. Go ahead, Titus. Let's go. Come on. I know. And there we go. All right. Cool. So yeah, we're gonna definitely keep making our own music videos. And then but we will certainly keep, we talk about it a lot, you know, we're like, how can we keep you know, measuring this, because we honestly have started to really enjoy filming ourselves too.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. That's good. So obviously you're talking there about the new album coming out, and your first performance in 14 months, Tim was saying, was at the Grand Ole Opry. That must have been nerve-wracking. I've been on stage
It
for
was
14 months, and then one of the biggest stages in country music.
Yeah, it was that. Well, we were kind of talking about right before this interview started. You were like, "Oh my gosh, I'm kind of nervous."
Yeah.
I was like, "Man, you know, that's the feeling that we as artists live for, you know, and we hate it as we get it. But then, right whenever the show's over, we love it so much. You know, it's one of those things. It's such a double-edged sword. But yeah, man, it was one of those things where it was so strange. It was very much like being in an alternate reality because it was only at a quarter capacity. So it's like a 4,000, 5,000 seat venue. It's a big room. And there were only 1,000 people in there, all spread out. And usually backstage at the Opry is just pandemonium. There's so much stuff going on. Everybody's coming and going. There's like 20 different dressing rooms, and all the artists and all their friends are there. And there's tours happening as well with people who, like, you know, pay top dollar to come and tour backstage at the Opry. And you really have a free reign while you're there, so to speak. And it's just so much fun. But this time it was like a ghost town back there, you know, because of all the COVID regulations. There was no one back there. And we had to come in. We did our first sound check at the Opry in like 6 years, because they don't really let you sound check there. It's not a thing. But because this was starting over again, they let us come back in. But what was really amazing was, after not having been in the Opry for like over, I don't know, almost 2 years maybe, we went there. And, you know, we've performed at the Opry well over a dozen times now. And it was so amazing to go there, and for all the people who work at the Opry to know who we were, and to and be happy to see us. And it went from being something that used to be really stressful, because they're like, who are these guys? They do a cappella music, and they need all this extra attention to get all their, you know, microphones plugged in and everything mixed right. And it's something they'd never done before. And it was kind of stressful at the beginning, because they deal with so many artists, you know, and a lot of entitled artists too, for that matter. So to go in there and then be happy to see us, you know, was such a breath of fresh air, even though it was a ghost town backstage, and we had to get there 20 minutes before our set and then leave afterwards. You know, we couldn't stay and hang out. So hopefully those things have changed the next time we're there, and it's full capacity and backstage is just as crazy as ever.
Oh, good. I'll be looking forward to that. So you were saying the first, your first tour dates in July, they're obviously the rescheduled ones that were cancelled last year. And then you've got your Warmest Winter tour. It would be great if you came to Australia for Christmas, mate. You would love it.
Man,
Endless
I wish
sunshine.
we could. Obviously, we were there in Australia for the first time ever, actually last year,
Brisbane,
before the pandemic stuff happened.
Yeah.
And those were amazing shows. We had so much fun, man. It was so much fun. And of course, everyone in Australia and all over Europe, people are like, please come here for with your Christmas show. And, you know, that might happen once in the next 10 years if we get lucky. But in all reality, it just doesn't make sense, because the amount of time it takes to get there, to then try and do a tour whenever we can tour over here and crush it every year and go to a different market every time. It just doesn't make sense, even though we really want to. But with all of the things that have happened in terms of what it's live streamed music now, and the quality of live stream music and what that can be like now, especially like, well, you know, Patrol Gaming, right? So imagine what it's going to be like with 3D cameras and VR technology in the next 10 years watching a live show. Like, it's going to be like I'm a hologram in your, I don't know, you're in your recliner laid back, and it's going to be like you're right there and I'm standing 2 feet in front of you. You know what I mean? It's going to be crazy.
It will be.
So
it will be. Yeah. So
at least that, you know.
So saying that, are you thinking about live streaming any of your upcoming tours?
We aren't currently, but we are working on making another live stream special.
Okay.
And I do know that is like in the cards in like 2022.
Okay. Oh, fantastic.
as the industry sort of equalizes and figures out how to do this. Because
Yeah.
like, man,
Yeah.
like agencies, the biggest agencies, and Live Nation and Ticketmaster and the entire music industry, you know, it lost, I don't know, 60 or 70% of its
Mm,
workers. You know
that's
what I
right.
mean?
Yeah.
So it's like everything's got to come back to normal before, as it turns into whatever that new normal is. You know,
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
certainly want to do that kind of stuff, but
Oh,
we'll
cool.
just see, I guess.
Yeah. It'll be great. It'll be great. You do some of the best Christmas songs. Some of the best Christmas songs. Fantastic. I love Christmas
Thanks,
time. If
man.
you've watched my channel at all, you know I love Christmas time. So when you do a Christmas tour, is that different than just a normal tour? Do you get a different feeling?
I mean, we definitely get a different feeling.
Okay.
At the relatively speaking, it's the exact same experience
Yeah.
touring at Christmas as touring
Yeah.
at any other time, with the exception of the show
Yeah.
changes a little bit. But the audiences change as well.
Yeah.
I mean, the Christmas audiences, I don't know why, but it's our best season in every single metric. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
People our people just, Christmas shows are like, so they sell out way faster than anything else, and it
Yeah.
just seems like people are even, we have an incredible fan base, but for some reason at Christmas time the audience just like gives that much
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's just happier, and
Yes.
maybe that's us, maybe that's the Christmas season. I don't know.
The home fries are the best community. I tell you what, they've taken me
Man,
under their wing, and as soon as you do reaction for home free, they just swarm. It's fantastic,
amen. Man, they are
fantastic.
the best, they
Yeah,
really are.
yeah. So
And dude, and before we get too far into this, let me say, because I will forget, I want to thank you, man, for reacting to our stuff, for
that's it.
reacting to my stuff,
Yeah,
man. You're actually a super fan. You know, that's
yeah,
what we call basically our, like my Austin Brown patrons and
yeah,
stuff. Like, you're actually a part of the community, and and I just love that, because you're actually a real person. You
yeah,
know, like we were saying this beforehand. It's like we would, you know, if you lived over here, you're the kind of person that we would hang out with in real life, because you're just normal.
yeah,
You know, you're just as big a nerd as we are, albeit in different dimensions.
yeah,
But you know, you're just this normal
for
guy with
sure.
a really giving heart. You work in a service industry
Yeah,
for other people, serving people who have needs. You know, that's what we're trying to do as musicians. You know,
yeah,
we're trying to give to our listeners so much and do music that they want to hear, as opposed to just doing what we want to do as
yeah,
artists. You know, we're
yeah,
trying to really let those be the same thing.
yeah,
So yeah, man, just thank you for reacting to what we do. And because it's kind of wild. Whenever this whole reaction thing first started, we were all so like snooty about it. You know, we were just like, what is this?
yeah.
These people are just, and people are watching them watch us, and half of these people don't even say anything. You
Yeah,
know, like Tim always makes a joke about somebody that watched, I think, How Great Thou Art. It's like the only reaction video he'd ever seen at the time. And the guy didn't move or do anything. And at the end, he just sniffled and wiped his nose. And that was the end of it. You know, and this thing had like 30 or 40,000 views on it. And we were like, what is happening?
yeah,
But as time has progressed on, it's just become so obvious that it's a real niche of
yeah,
society that's
yeah.
only going to grow. There's something that we as
Yes,
humans like about
yeah,
watching other people feel
yeah,
whatever they feel to something, especially when we know what they're going to see that they haven't
yeah,
seen. There's just something remarkable about that. And so
yeah,
I'm just here to champion everything that you do, especially in your reactions,
yeah,
because I think there's a real place for it, and you're helping people connect in a new way that they never have before. So yeah, man,
yeah.
you got all of my support, and I'm just so happy that when you reached out to the website and we're like, hey, I'd love to do an interview. Man, so glad to be here. So
Excellent.
don't. All right, that's a good pause. Now we can continue with the interview. Just
That's
wanted to
right.
say that,
Thank
man.
you very much for those words of encouragement. Very, very needed. Not just for myself, but the whole reaction community. We do get some, looked down upon from other people, but we're out here doing what we do, and I started it because my music background is Australian music. A lot of Aussie music. So when I started reaction, I hardly knew any of these bands. And I was telling you before, I'm not a country fan. I was never a country fan, but since doing reactions, huge country fan now, massive country fan. So,
Love
um,
that, man.
you know, things like Leonard Skinner, never knew of him.
Oh yeah.
And then people saying, how the hell do you not know him? It's like, well, I grew up in Australia, mate. You know, we didn't.
But that's what's so
You know,
interesting. That's why you're interesting, is
yeah,
because how could you not know Leonard Skinner,
I know.
you know, and have a beard and like gaming? And, you know, it's like, that doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah,
But that's what's interesting about it, is
yeah,
because people are more interested in you. And
yeah,
that's what's cool about it, man.
yeah.
You know, in 10 years, like, you guys are going to be on top of the pyramid, man. People, there are haters right now, but look,
Mm,
that's a good sign.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
That's a good sign.
yeah. I know. So, well, long may it continue anyway. So, thank you very much for those
Absolutely.
words. So,
Absolutely.
let's talk a little bit about your solo music. Um, you must be happy, obviously, the way it's been received. You know, obviously, Unchained Melody, over 5 million views now. That must have just blown away all your expectations. Yeah. Yeah.
Man, I'm going to tell you a story that I don't think
Yeah.
I've told anybody about this song yet, at least not publicly. I
Okay.
think I might have mentioned it in the superfan, you know, groups or live streams
Mm-hmm.
that we'll do. But I, you know, had recorded pretty much everything on the channel, with the exception of like the music videos for Earn It and Off the Grid. Oh, now Titus wants to come in. Okay. Um, yeah. So let's try that. There we go. All right. Hey guys, this is real life. You're in my house right now, and I'm letting my dog in. Come on inside. Yeah, come on. There you go. Good dogs. Now you'll get some good ASMR of them running around in the background.
Right.
So anyways, Unchained Melody. That's a song. Coda, be quiet, buddy. Man, they're on crack right now. I guess it's you in this moment. This never
I
happened.
know. That's it.
So I'd recorded all those covers for, you know, my patrons, and I hadn't released them publicly. In part, I mean, mainly the reason I hadn't released them publicly was because I was kind of insecure about them, because they're so simple, they're so cut down, and I'm doing them on purpose for my patrons, because I
Yeah.
know that that is something that they will really appreciate.
Mm-hmm.
Me singing a lot of these classics in a very simple way, and in a way that is not necessarily cool, right? Because I'm trying to be an artist, and I'm like a little insecure about like
Yeah.
showing so many different dimensions of myself and not being like focused. Because in the music industry and like record labels want an artist who's clearly defined and is in one lane and does one thing, and that's what they sell, right?
Yeah.
And I'm the opposite of that. You know, I'm in this a cappella group. You know, I write a ton of country music. I grew up singing Southern gospel music and R&B and black gospel, you know, and then I went to college for music theater. I've got so many different influences, and I don't want to be pigeonholed to any one of them. And so whenever I sang Unchained Melody, I did it in a way that was very straightforward, like as if I was going to sing it for my grandmother, you know, because that was one of her favorite songs.
Okay.
If I was going to sing that for her, that's how I would sing it. You know, I wouldn't sing it with a bunch of riffs and do it really gospel-y, you know, because Nanny wants to hear my beautiful tenor voice. So I sang it for her. You know, I do a lot of those things in that way, like as if I was singing for her, because I know how much she would appreciate it. So Amberly, flash forward, my girlfriend, and who anyone talks to if they email austinbrownmusic.com, most of the time she's helping me organize this whole business and keep everybody in touch. And she was like, hey, I'm just, one night I had a few too many drinks, not too many, but had a few drinks, and I was super relaxed. And she was like, hey, I'm going to just start posting some of these videos publicly. And I was like, yeah, sure. Okay, whatever. I don't want to know about it. Just do it. You know, I don't, that way you know, because if I'm tuned out from it, then however it performs doesn't matter. You know, it's just out there, and I can keep doing what I'm doing. And then, you know, the next day it had like 10,000 views in a day, which was easily the best video that I'd released, you know, in one day. You know, it was easily the best video that had come out. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And my mom even texted me and was like, Austin, your video's going viral. And I kind of laughed and chuckled. I was like, Mom, I love you. You know, 12,000 views in 2 days and in a day and some change is not a bunch. You know, I didn't tell her that, obviously, but like after watching 100 videos of Home Free come out, I was like, oh, she thinks it's going viral. That's so sweet. And then, of course, flash forward, and now it's at 5 million views.
Yeah.
And we have almost 150,000 subscribers. I mean, my brain exploded because it really taught me to stop trying so hard and to stop letting my insecurities hold me back from sharing what I've created. because the reception doesn't matter. You know, if I'm happy with it, that's all. That should be enough. So I'm trying to take that practice forward into everything I do, and to not try and fit into any idea of the music business or record labels and how my music should be presented, to just let myself do it all, because I have the luxury of living in an age when I'm on the internet, and I can just interface directly with the people who care about me and care about my music and care about Home Free's music, and I don't have to live up to anyone else's expectations other than my own. So Amberly releasing that, just doing it, really changed a lot of stuff, because who knows how long I would have sat on that. So Coda, come here. Oh man.
I think that's probably why it worked so well, because it was not flashy, it wasn't overdone. You could imagine you just sitting in somebody's living room and just singing it. I think that's what really spoke to me, you know, and you could hear your voice, you know, it wasn't over processed. So I think that's probably why it did so well. So.
Well, thank you, man. I really appreciate that. It literally has changed my life. We just completely reevaluated everything in my camp. When that video found so much success, we were like, oh, there's a market on YouTube that loves when I do this kind of stuff. Well, let's give it to them. You know what I mean? It's like we lean into it, and you know what I mean? So that's very much so what we're in the process of doing right now. So we've got this one lane where I'm doing covers on YouTube, very specifically aimed at the crowd that likes to hear me do that kind of stuff. And then there's the other side of the coin, where that group of people who are becoming, like, you know, my supporters at this incredible family at austinbrownmusic.com, and they're supportive of my art as a country music singer as well. So we're actually doing legit music videos. I say legit because we actually have a music video crew come in and film, you know, a music video for something like Earn It or Rest of My Life, or you know, Take the Night Off, and so on and so forth. And we're just going to keep doing that. But I do have some really fun surprises coming in the next few months.
Oh, good.
So that I think are going to take a lot of people off guard.
Excellent.
But they're not done yet, so I don't want to talk about them until they're actually done, and I know that they'll actually come out. So
excellent. We definitely look forward to that. Any new music is fantastic. So I've done
thanks, man.
some reactions for your solo work, but I've got definitely more coming too. So we just had a whole week of Home Free a couple of weeks ago, where I just did nothing but Home Free for the whole week. So I slipped one of your solos in there as well too, so which was very well received as well. So you're saying that I
really appreciate that.
Yes. So you're saying that you've done a whole load of videos, songs. Is there any artists you haven't covered yet that you really want to?
In terms of the Home Free world, absolutely. You know, I'm definitely Randy Travis is one that we haven't done. I've always wanted to get Tim and Chance down there singing. You know, some Randy Travis, his entire everything he did is incredible. We did do Travis Tritt, but I want to do more Travis Tritt.
Okay.
And I don't think we've done. No, we did do Dolly Parton, 9 to 5. That's right.
That was an excellent.
I mean,
video,
dude, you know, there's a new artist out there named Tierra, who has a song called "Founded in You," and she just got signed to Big Machine, and I think that she is the next big thing in country music. She's a friend of mine. We may be working with her soon, but she's somebody that I definitely would love to cover with Home Free. But yeah, man, I'm there's, you know, we finally covered Brooks and Dunn on the new album. We covered Only in America. Because it's a very sort of patriotic theme. But yeah, man, there's pretty much everybody. We just like doing good music, you know. And outside of it doesn't have to just be country either. Like, we love doing pop stuff, or like old school soul stuff. Or like Diana Ross is somebody we haven't covered yet, but we really want to cover because, believe it or not, she's a home fry.
Oh, wow. Wow.
She called us, right? She called us 2 or 3 years ago. We got a call and we're like, guys, we need to drop everything. It was a Monday. Guys, our manager calls us, guys, I got an opportunity for you, but that means you're gonna have to fly to LA Friday morning at the crack of dawn, and perform 3 songs Friday night, and then leave Saturday morning. And we were like, ugh. We're in the middle of a tour. We're like, why would we do that? And he was like, well, it's because it's Diana Ross's birthday party, and she's asked you personally to open for it because she discovered you last week, and she loves you. We were like, what?
Wow. Yeah.
Really? So we opened Diana Ross's 75th birthday show at the Palladium in LA.
Wow.
Everybody was there. Stevie Wonder, Robin Thicke, Puff Daddy, or Sean Combs, whatever his real name is at this point. I don't know. The Kardashians were there, you know, like Bette Midler. And I mean, I can't begin to count the number of celebrities that were in there. And we felt so out of place, but you better believe we stayed there from the first note to the last note, you know. We went backstage right as the show was ending. She did like a 2-hour encore, you know, and we were just standing in the hallway waiting for her to walk off because her manager told us where we should wait if we wanted to be able to greet her afterwards, because she's Diana Ross, you know what I mean? So, and she did. She stopped. She saw us and she was walking past, and she stopped and she came back. She was like, boys, you know, we were like,
wow. Okay.
the words can't come out, but yeah, Diana Ross is the home prize. So that was one of those special moments that we've really got to do a Diana Ross tune now as well, just for that fact alone.
Yeah. Opening up some more Motown would be nice as well. Definitely some Motown,
Some Temptations, we keep talking about doing that. We just haven't gotten to it yet, because that's all, like, those are the easy choices. You know what I mean? So we don't like to do all the easy choices at once. You know, we spread those out because we just know how much everybody's going to love it when we do it. So we just,
that's good.
You know what I mean?
So the new album, I've had a look at the track list. I only actually know one song from that whole track list. That's how much music I don't know.
And which one is it?
That's I think it's Bruce Springsteen. That was the only track that I actually know. So
and of course you know American Pie, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So, yeah. That was I must say that song and the music video was amazing. Absolutely amazing. What was that like working with such a legend?
Oh man, it blew our mind. Like and I will say, I have been saying to Home Free that we should do that song for, you know, at least 5 years now. But everybody's always like, that's so long. Like, and we love the song, but it just never happened. It wasn't like people didn't want to do it. It just, we always were doing so many other things. And it was like, do we do the whole thing? Do we do the radio edit? And then after the success of God Bless the USA with Lee Greenwood, him and Don McLean actually have the same manager. And they were at dinner with our manager. Well, the two managers were at dinner together. And they were just kind of talking about stuff. And he was like, yeah, Don McLean's 50th anniversary of American Pie is getting ready to come out. And I was wondering if you guys might be interested in doing something with that. And Luke was like, funny that you say that. Austin was just talking about this. Yes, we would love to. You know? And so we did, and Don was such a star, man. He came in, and we've worked with a lot of people, but he's really got that sort of star persona. You know, like everybody's got a different sort of cap they wear, you know, as an artist in the room. And he definitely felt like a star, and was very gracious to sit down with us afterwards and actually talk to me and Tim, who, because of, you know, the COVID pandemic situation, you know, we had to record that remotely for most everybody. But Tim and I were able to at least go into the studio with Don while he was here, because he happened to be in Nashville when he recorded his part. And he was gracious enough to sit down with us afterwards and talk to us. And he told us some really incredible stories about the song, about what it was like writing the song. He got to talk to us about Johnny Cash and his experiences with, like, Johnny Cash talking about the song and the whole, you know, the four, like it was something that we didn't expect to be as in depth and like interpersonal as it was. Because a lot of times when we do collabs, you know, we don't really get a chance to know the artist as well as we might want to. But Don actually already wants to work together again.
Wow.
And it looks like he's got some very big events coming up later in the year that we're going to be a part of that feel a lot like that Diana Ross 75th birthday situation. Like, the names that are supposed to be involved with some of these things are
Yeah.
just kind of mind blowing. And I'm not trying to like burst that bubble right
Yeah.
here, because again, who knows if it'll actually happen. But if it does, you can say that you heard about it here first, because
Yeah.
you'll know that this is what I was talking about when it comes out. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Fantastic. It must be strange to, especially as you say, at Diana Ross, looking into the crowd and just seeing legends of the music industry. Does that ever put you off singing?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It makes it harder to sing, because I want to do better, so much
Yeah.
better, and then I'm just like, well, why am I so nervous? Just do what you do. They're just people. Why do
Yeah.
you care? It's just another person.
That's
They're just
right.
familiar looking.
Yes. Just familiar looking. That is
Yeah,
right.
that's what I try and tell myself. But yeah, it
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And Rob was actually brave enough to go up. And there's like that night at the Diana Ross thing, there was a side. There was the whole audience,
Yeah.
and then there was a big giant stage. And on the side of the stage, in the audience, still, it wasn't like secret. Everyone
Yeah.
knew them. That's where the real celebrities were.
Okay.
Separated from the rest of the crowd,
Yeah.
because most of them were also somewhat involved in the show.
Yeah.
So like that's where Robin Thicke sat. That's where Puff Daddy sat between when he was coming up on stage.
Yeah.
That's where all the Kardashians sat. That's where Stevie Wonder sat. And Rob actually was brave enough to just walk out there, because we didn't have a wristband to be in that section, because it was like 25 seats max.
Yeah.
But because we'd been in the show, no one questioned him or looked. And so Rob was actually brave enough to just go out there and introduce himself to Stevie Wonder in the middle of the show.
Wow.
And Stevie was so kind. He was like, "Hi, man. Hey, brother. Yeah, thank you, dude. So glad. Good to meet you." And the whole thing.
Wow.
Just perfect star.
Yeah. Excellent. Fantastic. So we kind of touched on your solo music. So do you have a direction for that? Are you planning to put out a solo album?
I am. I'm actually working on at least an EP right now.
Yeah.
And it may turn into a full album. In the real world, an album is an outdated concept.
Yeah.
But it still is how the music industry operates.
Yeah.
And it does help to have a whole project together,
Mm-hmm.
just from a cohesive branding perspective of like trying to share your art with the internet and share more than one song and have like some kind of cohesive theme. So I've been working on that for a long time now. I actually just came from a session with Steven Martinez, my main producer, and where we recorded what I think might be, it's my favorite love song I've ever written, for sure. It's the first love song that I really wrote for Amberly, like in our relationship. It was like, I want to write her something, and I've been thinking about something for a while, and I had this lyric idea in my head. And then Keelan Donovan, who's written several songs for Home Free and with myself as well, we got together and wrote this song, and I think it's just beautiful. And so I actually was working on that today. But with that said, there's this other idea that I've been toying with that looks like it might actually happen. Let me not say it might. It's happening. It's just a question of how quick. Myself and someone else are working on a duo project, which is, it's not like it's just going to be another project. It's not like I'm turning into a duo guy only. I'm not going to be Brooks and Dunn and not Home Free. Just like Austin Brown is still going to be Austin Brown. And Home Free is still going to be Home Free. My first priority is Home Free always. But I'm working on a project, so I might wait to release an actual EP, because I think I might do another EP first in the next 3 months. With a little duo project, and maybe we'll get together and we can talk about that again as that duo births itself.
Exciting times coming up. That's good. That's excellent. So
yeah, man.
Have you ever thought about doing any Australian music? Obviously, that is my background, my first love.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Dude, what is the song? We learned a chorus of what we were told is Australia's country roads. It's such a great song. I wish I could probably look it up now. But there's one song that I know that's an Australian song, only one, and it's because when we were promoting the show for the Australia shows that we did last year, there was a song that they were like, "Hey, this is a really big song in Australia. You guys should definitely sing it." And we also sang it in the show every night, just the chorus that we'd learned. So, and everyone sang along at the top of their lungs every time.
Okay.
and I can't remember what it is. What is this? I can't remember it. I'm not
I
gonna
can't
remember, but I
remember.
could sing it if I could remember it right now. I would get it. A guy sang it. It's a very like 80s, 90s sounding song.
Was it John
Everyone in
Farnham by
Australia
any
knows
chance?
it. Yes, that's it. That's it.
You're the Voice, I think it's called.
Yes.
Yes.
You're the voice, try and
Yes.
understand it.
Yeah.
Sing it loud and make it clear.
That's right.
Yeah, man. That's a
That's
good
it.
song.
That's it.
That's
Great
a great
singer
song.
too.
Yeah,
You need to
man.
check him out, John Farnham. He's absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Oh, I became
singer.
a fan with that one for sure, and I definitely heard a few other things on that
He used
trip.
to sing with
bumped
Little
that
River
album.
Band as well.
Like,
Yeah, so,
really?
yeah.
Wow, I
Yeah.
had no idea, man.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Amazing singer. Amazing singer. So
Yeah.
I was thinking more something like In Excess or something. I think you guys would rock.
Dude,
In
you'll have to
Excess.
send me some of those because I would love, you know, I definitely love doing that kind of stuff, and I'm always trying to get the guys to do more stuff like that. We almost did a song all in Spanish once.
Oh, okay.
So like I can't, Nelly Furtado and Javier, I think is who it is, maybe.
Okay.
But
Does anybody speak Spanish?
I mean, no. Tim speaks some German and Chance speaks Italian.
Okay.
But I have loads of Spanish friends. My best friend's wife is Mexican, and they're both bilingual. And that's just like, and all of my closest, that was a request from a good friend of mine that I went to college with, who is on Broadway in the Heights and TV show Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. And she was like, what can we do together? She was like, I want to do this. And Humphrey almost did it, and then we just didn't get to it. But yeah, I want to do foreign language songs, and then also do like songs just like In Excess, you know, like some Australian like bangers, do like a British,
we would definitely love you to do,
localized. I think that those are really cool ideas that just help bring people together, you know?
Yeah. So when you're in Australia, did you ever try Vegemite?
Dude, it's so funny. Don't hate me, but Amberly was cleaning out the cabinet the other day, and our fans send us awesome things all the time. And someone sent me for my birthday last year a jar of Vegemite, and I have never found the appeal. But and I made Amberly try it, and she was like, "Oh!" And we of course didn't keep it because it was a year old, and I know I'll never eat it.
Yeah.
So, but we tried it. I know it's full of vitamins and stuff, but I just don't get it. I don't get it.
Don't worry, Vegemite.
Do you eat it?
Yeah, I love it.
You do. You do. What do you put it on in the morning?
Just toast. In the morning.
Yeah.
Less is more. You definitely got to put less on. Don't eat it like Nutella.
Okay.
Don't slap it on.
Okay.
Tiny little bits. Tiny little bits goes a long way. Yeah.
So like, how long does like a regular, you know, like 12-ounce jar last you?
Probably about 6 months.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Because the whole family eats it, so you know everybody eats it. Yeah. And that stuff never goes off, so you don't need to throw it away.
Oh, there you go. Well,
so
like, you know, it's good to know.
So much salt in it, it won't go off. So you obviously you got a lot of projects going. You got a lot of fingers in different pies. What do you do to relax? Obviously, you do fishing.
I mean, we live on a pond here. Yeah. Fishing is my favorite thing in the world.
Yeah.
Outside of music, I do. You know, I watch Amberly and I watch Netflix, obviously, and Amazon Prime, and try and find good adventure shows, things that are. Her favorite thing to watch is like murder mysteries.
Oh yeah.
Not murder mysteries. I'm sorry, like crime documentaries, I should say. You know, like.
My wife does that too. You know, 48 hours and all that.
She loves it, and I support it. Good for her. But if we're gonna watch TV for 2 or 3 hours, I like to watch something phantasmagorical. You know, just like superheroes and whatever. You know, cartoons. I like to go hiking. We go for a walk around the pond or just outside. I cook pretty frequently. I like to read a lot. Actually, and now I forget to say this sometimes because I guess it doesn't seem like such an active thing, but I meditate every day for like 45 minutes or so, approximately, at least once a day, 6 out of 7 days a week. You know, sometimes I skip a day, but for the most part, I do it every day, and that really has changed my life more than anything else. That's my favorite, you know, hobby at this point is meditating. It's such a good thing for me. So
Yeah.
to those out there, if you're interested, just YouTube how to meditate, and that's how I started. And you'll find it. You'll figure it out.
I do meditation as well. Usually
Nice.
just before I do videos and stuff, just to kind of clear my mind and, you know, take all that rubbish from the workday out.
Yeah.
It definitely works. Definitely works. So not 45 minutes. I haven't made 45 minutes yet, but you know, so.
Well,
But,
it's, I say it's not, there's a lot of breath work. Like that
mm,
45 minutes is much more of a like, it's
yeah,
like 25 minutes of breath work,
yeah,
honestly. And that's really where the value for me comes in. Cause, in doing that breath work, taking really steady and important intentional breaths
yeah,
consistently. And there's a million different ways to do it, but doing breath work for like a set amount of time really automatically raises your serotonin and endorphin levels, and your dopamine in a way that is the healthiest it could possibly be.
mm-hmm,
And when you can program your body to give you serotonin and dopamine just based on your oxygen being intentional, like no matter what kind of stressful situation you're in, if you just breathe on purpose because you're programmed with that meditation, all of a sudden, whatever kind of stressful situation you're in gets so much more easy to deal with,
yeah,
So I suggest it to everybody.
yeah. Oh,
So,
that's good. So does your excuse me, your meditation, does that then filter into how positive you are? You're always so positive. That's
absolutely,
what I get. Yeah,
100%.
yeah,
Absolutely,
yeah.
beyond a shadow of a doubt. Well,
Mhm.
and I've always tried to be very optimistic and positive
Yeah,
intentionally,
yeah.
but after the Home Free had kind of gotten to what felt like a plateau in my world, and I
Mhm.
think that was mainly because of a lot of personal stuff I was going through in my life, with a relationship ending and a lot of sort of looking in the mirror at
Yeah,
things, in my early 30s that I had never really paid attention to, and finally getting a therapist. I've always had good people to talk to, and I have a cousin who's got a PhD in psychology, and she could get me in some good places, but she's still my family member.
yeah,
And so when I actually got a real therapist and I committed to meditating every day, everything in my life came into focus, and and that and the positive energy that I'm able to maintain
yeah,
every day now is 100% tied to meditating and reprogramming my subconscious.
yeah,
Like I've read a few books on that now, and that's what I'm doing in that meditation. I'm not just meditating.
yeah.
Meditating is a lot of us get really confused, or we think meditation is about thinking nothing, and that's not
Hmm.
what meditation is at all. That can be a part of a
Yeah,
kind of meditation,
yeah,
but that's usually not what I'm doing. When I'm meditating, I'm reprogramming my subconscious. I'm repeating these mantras in my head
yeah,
of what I want to feel and experience in the outer world, and how I
yeah,
want to see the people around me and my circumstances. And then when I kind of come out of that, now I've actually reprogrammed my subconscious to be more likely to view something that would be challenging as a positive
yeah,
thing, as opposed to something that would be challenging as a stressful and negative thing,
yeah.
And but yes, I'm positive, and a large part of that is because of my intention crafted through meditation.
Okay, excellent. I know I've had a lot of home friars tell me one of the things they like about Austin Brown is his positive energy. And I think that comes through in your music as well. Uh, you do that little bit at the end of your music videos where you're talking about Austin Brown music, and you can just feel that energy coming off you. I think that's what energizes a lot of your fans as well. So that positivity and that energy levels as well. So it
Well, thanks, man.
definitely,
And you get what you give,
yeah,
like
yeah,
that's what we have in the community. And I say that because
mm,
that's what our fans, our super fans and the home fries, that's what
yeah,
they give us,
yeah,
So like it's this beautiful circle that
yeah,
a lot of times toxic energy begets toxic energy, and what they call like a downward spiral.
yeah.
So I guess that in the home free circle and in the Austin Brown superfan circle, it's like an upward spiral. We
That's
just
right.
give positive, and
That's
it just
right.
gets more positive, and it just
Definitely.
feels good.
Yeah. Yeah. That is definitely right. That is fantastic. So talking about the most important thing, fishing pond. So I'm a huge fisher person. fisherman, whatever you want to
Nice.
call it. So, if you watch any of my gaming streams, anytime there's fishing in a game, that's what I'm doing. Setting up a little shack, doing some fishing. So,
I
so what
love it.
kind of fish are you getting out at your pond?
I mean, well, I may as well show you here.
Okay.
In the next in the next Austin Brown music video, we shot a music video for a song that I wrote with Sebastian, a good friend of mine, called Real Talk, which is all about how we need to have conversations face to face, and like at least on FaceTime. Because, you know, a lot of times I know in some of my past relationships, you get into this habit because we're doing so many things of texting about a serious conversation. And texting about something that's serious is just never a good idea.
No.
Like just put the phone down and make the drive, have the conversation, or get on FaceTime, turn everything else off and have the conversation. You know, that's what the song is about. But my video director was like, man, what if we did like a Dr. Dolittle thing where he was like, can you get a bunch of animals in a music video? I was like, can I get a bunch of animals in a music? Yeah, bro, I will find the animals. So we had been talking. He was like, do you have an aquarium? I was like, this is so synchronistic. Amberly and I have been talking about getting an aquarium for months and months now. And because we have the pond out there, and some of our favorite YouTube channels are like Bama Bass, or aquarium channels where people like catch a bass and they raise them in their aquarium. So we've been fishing, and recently we caught a bass that had a little issue with his eye. So we thought, well, why don't we bring this guy in and film him? So this is Willie here.
Okay.
You can kind of see Willie back there. We call him Willie because like one-eyed Willie.
Oh, one-eyed Willie.
From
Goonies.
Excellent. One-eyed Willie from the Goonies. He's obviously a pirate too, but
that is fantastic.
Yeah. So we that's what we fish for most of the time. You know, pretty stereotypical. I'm a fisherman. My favorite thing to fish for is largemouth bass. You know, I think something like 43% of all fishing in the world, of all sport fishing, is for largemouth bass. And that's what I grew up doing. So that's my favorite thing. We do have a lot of crappie. You know, speckled perch is another name for them. And there's a lot of bluegill brim out there. But we will eat the crappie sometime. I mean, I'm vegetarian now and have been for a little over a year. But once in a very blue moon, I'll at least have some fish. And when I do, it's crappie from this pond.
Okay. Oh, nice. So who's the better fisherman, you or Amberly?
She is about to be. She is good, man. She is blowing my mind how fast she'll learn. She's already thrown a bait caster, and something also silly, I guess I'll show you. In my house, what do I have at the front door? We installed
fishing rod
here. Right there, we have a fishing rod pole holder right there because the lake is just right out front. So she is a really good fisherwoman, and she uses a bait caster, like the big boy rig, you know, that takes a lot of work to get used to, and she's very good at it. And it's also funny because I wrote a song with Keelan Donovan a while back, well over a year now. It was the first song I wrote when I got this house, and there was no furniture in here. And he came over and we sat and wrote a song called "Bro, Do You Even Fish?" So I don't know if you know the phrase, like bro, do you even lift?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're obviously, it's a play on that. Hey, bro, do you even fish? But after, you know, Amberly's fallen so in love with fishing, man, she loves it. She fishes more than I do at this point.
Yeah.
And she, so in the music video for "Bro, Do You Even Fish?", it's going to be her teaching some bro how to fish.
That's
and I
fantastic.
think it's a great idea. It's going to be so much fun whenever that happens.
Fishing is one of those things that I taught my kids how to fish, and they just love it now. So they fish on their own. So.
What do you fish for, man?
Freshwater, brim, bit of mullet.
Sure.
Barramundi, we go up north a bit. So, you know, just anything really. The only thing with the rivers around here, we got a river not too far away, but you get some bull sharks in there, so you just gotta watch out for those sharks that come and get you. So yeah, it's Australia. You know, everything's trying to get you.
Everything can kill you. That's what they say, right?
That's it, mate. So yeah, we just kind of fish for just a game, really. You know, just to kind of do something in the afternoon. So those long, hot summers, you know, you got to get down to the water. That's the main thing.
Sure.
Yeah, so
absolutely.
So I know
Are you kind of out in the country, or?
No, I'm in Brisbane City.
Okay.
So you know, we go an hour out of town. You know, so my in-laws live up the coast a little bit, so we got dams and stuff up there, so we go fishing.
Nice.
So
Man, I love Brisbane. It's
yeah,
great.
yeah,
I was shocked at how much we love that. That's actually Tim's favorite city in the world now.
yeah,
He says.
yeah.
He was
Brisbane is
shocked how
good.
much
Yeah,
we all loved it so
yeah.
much. Yeah.
We definitely can't wait to get home free back in Brisbane. That's for sure. So hopefully
Dude,
soon.
same.
Hopefully soon. So
Yeah. Hey, maybe next year if we're lucky.
oof,
It all just depends on scheduling because we can always come for a week if it's in the right time.
yeah,
You know.
yeah, that would be fantastic. Fantastic. So, well, I think that is going to be it for today. Thank you very much for your
Awesome,
time.
man.
I know
This was
you're
so
a
much
busy
fun.
man with everything going on, so I won't hold you up too long.
Oh, I got a flower bed. I got to put some mulch in. So
Never
tough
ending.
life, but somebody's got to do
Never
it.
ending. That is it. That is it. So, Austin Brown, thank you very much for joining us on the channel today. Been fantastic. Hopefully, we'll be able to get you on again very soon. Maybe
sure
when
we
you've got
will,
some
man.
more projects coming up, we can
Absolutely.
discuss them then. So, but thank you very much for being here. Thank you.
Dude, thank you for having me. It's a joy. Again, man, thank you so much for what you do. I'm so glad that you're thriving on YouTube, man, because I'm going to be making content for you to react to forever. Hopefully,
Fantastic.
it'll get more and more interesting,
Fantastic.
So you can pick and choose the good ones, dude.
Good.
Much obliged. Thank you so much for your support at awesomebrownmusic.com, for being a super fan, actually being a part of the community. It's such a little thing, but we do so much. For all the people out there with the music that we make, and you're helping us share it with an even broader community. So just thanks for being awesome, man. Seriously, it means the world. And I wish you the best, man.
Thank you very much. I'll put all the information about Austin Brown Music down in the description.
Oh,
So
thanks,
anybody
dude.
who
And let
wants
me
to-
know as soon as you share this stuff so we can share it too.
No worries. Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, man. Peace.
Wasn't that fantastic? What a great interview. He is a great guy. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. I loved it. So nervous before it. Oh my God. Cannot believe how nervous. But we got there in the end and it turned out fantastic. So hopefully we'll get Austin on very soon again. Obviously he's got a lot of projects coming out. Home free, solo work. We're definitely going to be reacting to all of that too. So hopefully you'll stick around for that. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed. Thumbs up. And don't forget to check out austinbrownmusic.com. All those links and everything are in the description. And guys, hopefully, again, you enjoyed it. I'm still pinching myself. I am still pinching myself. So hopefully you guys really enjoyed it. Cannot wait to do the next one. But guys, in the meantime, make sure you stay safe. I'll see you in the next reaction video.